Hello, in this video we're going to look at how to use Audacity. So first of all we have to open Audacity. There it is right there. And just hit OK. So it's pretty easy. Just jump in. You want to make sure first of all that it's got the Yeti stereo microphone or whatever it is you want to record as the recorder. Then you would just hit record and you would start talking. So I'm going to start reading a little bit. Through the liberation of Leyte took longer than Douglas MacArthur had hoped. He still praised American forces, stating in a congratulatory message issued on Christmas Day. Okay, so that was a fake cough. So let's say you're recording and you've got your nice recording here and then all of a sudden you cough. Well, make sure you've got the selection tool chosen. And you can click down here, and then if you hold down the left mouse button, you can select all that. And if it's white, it is selected, and then you can hit delete, and now it's gone. And I can go, I want to stress, you can't do this while it's playing, you have to have it stop, but I can go back and see where I last was. Issued on Christmas Day. So I knew that the last words I'd taken said were on Christmas Day. So I can look back at my script, and I know that the next thing is 1944, so I can just start. So I hit record. 1944, that the campaign has had few counterparts in the utter destruction of the enemy forces with the maximum conservation of our own. Such a victory with comparatively low American casualties was made possible thanks in large part, and then I'll stop. So I don't want this part here that says, and then I'll stop. I don't want that in there. So I can just click over here, making sure that this one is chosen. And then I can hold down the left key and then go over and, oops, I went too far, but it doesn't matter. I can hit delete. Now, one other thing we want to check, of course, this is where we started. And then I coughed and we cut off the cough and then we restarted. So let's listen to that. Christmas Day, 1944. So let's say that we think that that's too long of a pause. We can click here. And then we can drag again, holding down the left key, hit the delete button. Now it's deleted. Now we can listen to it again. Stay 1944. So you can see it's really nice because you can easily go back and edit out when you make a mistake, right? You can easily, you misspeak, you don't have to go back and do everything again. And also it's important because, here I'll rustle some papers. You can hear that's really loud, and your audience does not want to hear that. It's very distracting. They don't want any kind of background noise. So it's really easy when that happens. You just stop the recording, you just cut out that little bit, and you can play it and delete the bad parts. And then that helps you make a better recording. So we've got that. So now here's one thing that's really confusing. Let's say we're happy, we've recorded everything. We hit File. If you hit Save Project, it's going to save this editing, but it's not actually going to make it into an MP3, and it warns you. What we want to do is we want to export it. Export as MP3. And then we could export it. We'll just write test, and then we export it. All right, now if we go to that area, let's see, I'm not actually there. There it is, right? We exported it. If we click it, through the liberation of Leyte took longer than Douglas MacArthur had hoped. There you go. So now we've got that. So I need to show you a couple of other things. So we're going to go to import. So we've already got an MP3 made. So we go to import audio. And I want here's the Leyte broadcast for the tutorial, and here's the MacArthur speech. So what I'm going to show you how to do here is, what if you want to bring in two files? So hit that, and now it's going to import those. There we go. Now this is what I did previously, just now, and I'm just going to, let's see. I can actually hit this X button and it's all gone. So now what you've noticed, I've got these two tracks, and this is going to be really annoying, but if I press the play button,
of Almighty God.
However, it plays them at the same time, and we don't want that. We want them to be playing separately. So what we can do is we can just see how I'm clicking up here on this thing. I can just move it over and it will, there, it locked. So now we can have it.
Soil. Soil.
So I'm going to, one quick thing, you can use Control 1 to zoom in. And I want to do that so we don't have to listen to that whole speech. Notice I had to stop it, so let's go over here and let's listen to this.
Liberties of your people.
General Douglas MacArthur gave that impassioned speech on October 20th. So there you go. So now we've got these two things, and they're going to play nicely
Liberties
together.
of your people.
General Douglas MacArthur gave that Now, one thing also I can do, let's say that I want that to fade out. Let's say I want MacArthur's voice to fade out. So I can use this command, the envelope tool, and I can like click here, and then I can click here. And then I've made this little bit, and what's going to happen is I can manipulate this little bit. Like I can pull down, and it's going to make it softer. So let's hit the play button.
Liberties of your people.
General Douglas MacArthur gave that impassioned, right, and then it went up. And if I want to, I can do the reverse, and I can make my voice get louder. Oops. And see, I made a mistake there. I misclicked. Just hit Control Z. Control Z is your friend. When you make a mistake, hit Control Z. It will reverse your mistake. So let's now, we'll go back to selection tool. Now let's listen to how it sounds now.
Liberties of your people.
General Douglas MacArthur gave that impassioned speech on October, and that makes a bit of a smoother transition when I made it so it went down and then went up. And so we've got it. We are happy now. We've got the MacArthur speech. I want to introduce my podcast. We've got me. We can just hit export again. And what it will do is it will take these two different things and make them one sound file, which you can then turn in as your assignment. Yeah, your tracks will be mixed and exported as one stereo file. Now, one thing I'm just going to briefly show you how to do next is sometimes when you bring in a file from someplace else and you mix it with your file, one is going to be really loud and one is going to be really soft in comparison. And the way you can deal with that is you can normalize. Now notice if I click here, it makes me hit this. Hit here, it makes me select that. I don't want to do that. I want to select everything. Okay, boom. Now everything is selected. And what I can do is I can hit normalize. And there's a bunch of other stuff you can do as well. You can play around with that if you want. The major thing I want to show you how to do is normalize. And basically what this does, and I wouldn't change this, you just leave it how it comes up, and then you hit the OK button, and what it's going to do is it's going to make it so they have the similar volume. So that if the MacArthur speech, originally it was really loud, much louder than my voice, that made it so that they were approximately the same volume. So Audacity is great. It can be a little difficult to get used to at first, but once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to run. There's lots of great tutorials on YouTube as well. Usually if you just say, how do I make it louder in Audacity? How do I make it softer? It'll pop right up. And of course, you can always let me know if you have any questions.